We're delighted. This is our Lord Mayor's lecture called Horses for Courses. It's Year of the Horse, so we couldn't but focus on the horse in Ireland and the love for the animal that goes back many, many years in mythology and in culture, but specifically, I suppose, in the Irish horse industry.
We're in the middle of a 2-week-long festival celebrating the Chinese New Year in Dublin, and it's the Year of the Horse. So hence the choice of the horse for the Lord Mayor's lecture this year. The
festival is something we created about 7 years ago to really help celebrate Chinese-Irish relations or Sino-Irish relations. There's a long history which people don't often realise between China and Ireland, going back to some of the really Anglo-Irish families in down the country, but also in Dublin. What we try to do with the festival is to celebrate this major calendar festival every year, which is celebrated all over the world, but to do so in combining Irish and Chinese links. And it's a really nice one because it's one of the strongest we have in the year now as well.
There's a huge opportunity for us to bring young Chinese people to Ireland and for educating. And so, I see it in the university that the kids like to come to Ireland. It's good. They get a Western experience, they perfect their English. But the idea that people would come for summer schools or shorter periods, come learn English in the morning, do horse riding in the afternoon. In Ireland, we've a whole range of horses, ponies for children all the way to elite horses. And people talk a lot about elite horses, but before you can ride those elite Olympic type horses, you have to learn to ride.
We have sold horses to go directly to mainland China, and even more importantly, I think, with an extra knock-on benefit to Ireland, is that at the most recent yearling sales, we sold 11 yearlings who are going to remain on in Ireland to be trained here by Irish trainers. So that really is something that we've been trying to promote, because first of all, it's a new market for us. It's Chinese owners. It brings Chinese owners into Ireland, so it opens up the whole Irish country to them, never mind just the Irish bloodstock industry.
What we can do is we can make life easy for them to come here and do business. We will provide translation, we will make visa assistance, prepare itineraries, do hotel bookings, and we also, if they do business, if they purchase a horse, we will give a contribution towards their flight. So it's our inward buyer programme. So we give a sum of money to each person who buys a horse coming to Ireland to help with their costs.
John Osborne highlighted his course in the National Stud. It's only a 6-month course for stud managers, and these stud managers, they're all over the world, but they're all hooked back to Ireland. They really have a special handshake, and so there's no reason we can't do that with China. Red Mills are the only specific horse ration company outside of China that got the license to export horse feed to China. But one of the weaknesses in the Chinese system is that the husbandry practices, the horses are relatively new, and rearing competition horses is new. And so Michael Connolly had an idea of bringing Chinese people or workers from some of these places, or supervisors from some of these centres, to Ireland to get a short course on equine husbandry and maybe positioned as assistant trainer with some of the trainers on the Curragh.
Ireland can offer a huge amount of horsemanship. There's a wonderful stable in Beijing called Equilis. They have wonderful standards, but they suffer problems associated with just not knowing how to feed horses when weather is changing. It can lead to colics and tragedy. We need to develop the demand, we need to develop the market in China, and I think if we'd learn the language, if we put in the effort, I hope, and I've banked on this myself, that it will work out.
We were delighted to link with the Irish Horse Welfare Trust, and I think a lot of people asked us earlier on, and at the end of last year there was some terrible stories about horses being treated really badly, and you could say it's maybe a phenomenon that came out of the Celtic Tiger, not the Celtic Horse, but the Celtic Tiger, when people were spending huge money on buying horses or buying ponies, and then they were neglected and left. And I think something like the Irish Horse Welfare Trust has done a huge amount of work in caring and looking after and in promoting the welfare of horses, because to see an animal like that abused in any form is just dreadful. It's not something Ireland is or does. It's a very, very small minority. Ireland loves their horse, and it's really to try and help them and promote what they do as well.
It's great to see we've so many successful horses and trainers and owners and jockeys and so on. So I think it's part of our kind of heritage. It's part of the image that we have internationally. So I think it's great to kind of marry that with the growing development of our relationship with China that we're very much fostering here in Dublin.